This video shows how I added a giant viewfinder to the high-quality Raspberry Pi camera. This is an LCD, which is a nice big screen. I'm trying to make a display for my Raspberry Pi. It has a little user interface control card and a display driver card, which has an NTSC input, a VGA input, an HDMI input, and a power input. Now I've made a 3D printed holder for all of this stuff. So this is the main chassis, and we can plug in the switch card. This slides in here like that, and the controller card, we want the connectors over on this side, and it has slots in this central pedestal area to allow it to snap in here, and it can't slide back and forth. There's stoppers in the slots which prevent it from sliding, so it's held securely like that. Now the LCD just goes on top of this, and it slides into the groove in this main chassis like that. So it's got buttons on one side and connectors on the other side, and I've got some end plates which are symmetrical, so they would slide in from the side like that, so we can still access the connectors. And we have one on the other side. Slides on nicely like that. I mean, obviously I haven't pulled off the protective screen here, but while we're building it, that's not necessary. So on the back, now we have access to the buttons, which I can push with my finger, and access to the connectors. The screen has a remote control, and I want to mount this thing on the tripod with the rest of my Raspberry Pi. So I've got these tripod mounts here, which slide into these dovetails here. It's going to be a very tight fit. See if I can get it to go like that. And there's a second one. So now it's all together and it's not coming apart. Now there are some brackets for the tube that's going in here, so these can lock onto the tube. So now we just have to power it up and see if this thing actually works. Okay, here we have the display, the Raspberry Pi, and the camera all mounted on a tripod. And let's see if we can turn it on, what that's going to look like. And here we have the booting screen for Raspberry. Not sure we need this light. But Raspberry's going through its normal boot, so we have quite a nice little display here. It's only 800p, but still got a lot more size and resolution than you would normally see in a camera display. So that booted up nicely, and we have a fully functional system. It's all packaged. I do need to get the right length of cable to go from this HDMI port to the HDMI of the Raspberry Pi. And this is a 5-volt power jack, which I have a cable on order that will plug into the same high power adapter as the power for the Raspberry Pi. So that has 2 outlets on it, or it has 3 outlets actually, but I only need 2. And that camera's not really looking at much right now, but we could try it out. Just a second. Okay, so if we give it a file name, that's a 35mm lens, and we'll just call it A. So it's obviously looking at a white screen and not focusing much on anything there. Let's see if we can focus it on something else. A shelf. Wow. Oh, there we have Sparky on a shelf. So it's fully functional, and just a few little things that still need to come in from being ordered, and this will be ready to roll. And we even get the Element 14 mug in there. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. We've got everything working on this Raspberry Pi high quality camera.